to the rockle. That's what I mean. For me, it's the risky part. When we are there, we have the chance to do with so much stuff that we have, climbing stuff, and so on. Everything I think will be fine. But we should go. For me, when we arrive the island, that's the most important thing, and that is for me the big unknown, because the weather, because the condition, because the boat, because 460 kilometers are a long time. When we go with 6 to 10 knots per hour, we have 20 kilometers or something like this, 15 kilometers, 16 kilometers per hour. We have 2 days to drive. And that's when we have a high, when we have a good weather and good condition, that will be for me really the first. When I see the rock, that is what I dream. What's come over is just a second part, but I want to see the rock. When I see the rock, I know that we can touch the rock, and step by step do the rest.
Well, we look forward to watching your dreams come true. I know Stephen's got a question. Stephen?
Sorry, not at the moment, no.
Oh, God bless you. I'll throw it open to the floor whilst Nick's sitting back. Anybody else got a question for Emil? Please do unmute yourself.
Yep, I've got a question, if that's okay. It's James, GM0GMN. Emil, I think you maybe said 2 days, is that right, to get there? Is that how long it will take you to sail?
Pardon again?
How long will it take you to sail from Inverkip to Rockall?
I think 2 days, if everything is well. Because if we have a good wind, the wind is the most important thing, that we have a good wind, so we can drive with, so what I told, so 10 knots, something like this, and then we have 2 days. But this is, everything is tricky. If the wind is not so good, of course, they go left and right and left and right and so on and so on. But there is, we might say, you saw, it's so expensive. It's just a sailing boat, but it's extremely expensive. When it was an idea, so with everything, someone asked last presentation to me, hey, why we don't take, for example, helicopter or something like this? Of course, helicopter, but who will take us? It's a crazy. You need 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 pounds or euros, something like this, to bring it there. You need ropes, so slow, long ropes, that all that stuff put down, and so on and so on. Or with motorboat, that's cost so much, and you need a real big military, something like this, that you will be sure when you start, the motor will be okay until there and stay for you 10 days in that area, and then pick you up going back. It's just impossible. This is the securest way. I saw also something like Bouvet. It was good idea to go there, to take a proper boat and so on and so on. It's too much money for that, and that's I think it's a good, very good, perfect solution for that. We have for 3 person plus one. They come as Aaron with the filming cameras and so on. 3 of us will be on the rock, and that's everything what we can do. I mean, I'm very happy that we have this solution, and within this solution, we do everything that we will be over the boat and over the trip to be successful on that point.
No, that's great. Thanks very much.
Nick, I don't know if the channel in YouTube is open.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, Emil, I had to close the YouTube channel, but I've restarted it, so we do have people watching us on YouTube again. So
okay, that someone perhaps want to ask a question there.
There's no one.
W3, I'd like to ask a question.
Yes, go on. Yeah, but do that. Sorry, just before you pose your question, to those watching on YouTube, if you want to type your questions in on the chat, then I'll put them to Emil. Sorry, who had a question?
A W3UR, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Bernie. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you had a fantastic presentation, Emil. Lots of details. One of the things I'm not sure that I heard was, is there a plan for how you will work the more difficult areas? Europe is going to be pretty easy for you to work, obviously, and probably even the East Coast. But what about the West Coast of the US, Australia, Pacific, JA? Is there some kind of plan to work those guys?
No, thank you for asking this, Bunny. When we put the antennas and start the pile up, for me in personal, I will take call sign after call sign after call sign on all my expedition, also on big expedition. I have not made a difference between East Coast, West Coast, or Europe or something like this. All other guys are equal. All the other guys want to work with me, and my job is to work with all that people as quickly and as best as possible. In CW, what I can say, if my signal is properly good all over the world, I say all over the world, I run with over 40 or 40, 45, 46 VPM, down 7 to 9 QSOs in a minute. And that's my goal, to work 24/7 if I can. From this part of Rockwell, just a simple antenna that we have, it's a really simple antennas, we will have a great signal. So my thinking, from my experience all over the world, we will be on US come with the perfect signal. So no problem to work. Everybody, they can call us. I'm sure the US guys from all coasts will make a good signal with us. I'm sure.
Okay.
So it's my so what I will do at the moment. I will not stop the others and say, okay, just only now US, just only Europe or something like this. It could be if there is a really very a good propagation to US or something like this on 40 or 20 meters or somewhere else where you say, oh, now it's very good propagation to there, give the chance, work 2, 3, 4 hours for them, and then go back to Europe, for example, because Europe, it will be easy going from there, I'm sure, you know.
Okay, thank you, Emil.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Bernie. Who else has got a question? Yeah, Adriana.
I have a question concerning the medical equipment. Are there any plans if something goes wrong with a medical situation? Is there perhaps someone on the boat who can help if something happens?
That's a good question. We have this medical kit. What I saw there is what everybody will receive with us. If some very special come in, we will make decision on that point. You know, at the moment we cannot say how we will be stay on the boat, how we will be during big waves, how we will be managed with the eel from the sea eel and so on. I take from my sister's daughter, and I talk many times with her. I was visit her, and he gave me a special medicaments about so to against this headache or something like this during the our trip. Try to eat, of course, good stuff. Drink fresh water and so on. That's that we can do. It's not it's the same for me, in personal situation, like when we go when I go with groups up to the summits, for example, somewhere in Russia or somewhere in Kyrgyzstan or so, when we go over 5,000 meters, I don't know how the people, how I personally will feeling on that high point. And what we can do is our experience to say, okay, just eat not too much, just eat just very so not to drink too much water when you go on the boat, or drink some alcohol or so. So that's no way. And take all that's things that we do. It's good for us. Glenn and the other guys have a lot of experience, and he know what to do on that point. We have this security stuff with us, so that we can say if everything is completely going worse, of course the man's life is on the top, and we can go back. Like I say, when I go to summits, better if something going wrong, go back, because we want to go back to the summit again, and not just go up and stay there and die.
Yeah. It's a very, very exciting trip, and I hope for the best that everything will be okay.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adriana. Anyone else with a question? Yes, I've got Roger, G3LDI. Go ahead, Roger. You're on mute, Roger. Just unmute yourself.
Yep, got it. Hi, Emil. Thank you for the presentation. I don't envy you the trip at all. I think it's a very risky situation, but my question is a personal one. You're staying on that rock for a long period of time in a very cramped situation. What exactly are the toilet arrangements?
The toilet
Arrangements. You have to have those, surely.
Yeah. When I was in El Capitan, all our shits, because it's national park, we should take it with us. So we go to the toilet into the bottle and the plastic, and then you take with you all the way up, and then go. Here on that point, we have for peeing, I mean, we will take also a small bottles inside of the tent, because of course when the weather is bad or it's too windy, you don't want to go out, put your security stuff on the rocks, on the rope, go down and so on. But of course, I mean, 3 people can go down to the beach, to the surface on the secure way. That was, I mean, with secure the way from the surface. To leave some rope into the water, it's not a problem. To leave, that's some and then from there on to fix the rope every 2 meters, make knots in between, and when we go down, just go down, go to the toilet, into the water or something like this, and go up to the camp. So for the peeing, of course, when you have a bottle, you don't need to go every 10 minutes. So go inside of the tent into this bottle, and then so 2, 3, 4 hours later or a day later, we can living there or something like this.
Well, thank you very much.
It's just the natural thing, and thank for the questions. That was also thinking. We should think about everything, you know.
Yes.
Most important is that we have because this shit from birds there, they're very aggressive, and we should care about our cleaning the hands. Everything should be clean, because if you have some shit from this and you go to the mouth or so, that could be very dangerous.
That's true. Yeah.
And that's the for this we have some medicines that that I take with me, for example, so that we prevent something like this.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. I've got a question from YouTube from DL2YMR. Hello, Emil. Will you use the Fox and Hound mode in FT8 on Rockall?
So Fox and Hand, this Fox and Hand, it's not present 100% like in VSJTX. You know, we will use the software from Bulgarian guy, and this Bulgarian guy work all station.calling. So when I on the frequency, for example, 14.095, I will go round about 400 hertz, and this software is so clever that they take all station that over there and working after one and after one and after. So don't care about this Fox and mode. Of course, you can use this, should put it. But the best way to install, if the people want, and to give a try on MHSV, this is, for me, is one of the best software. Like I told, I use it in Djibouti, and it was perfect for decoding and working in all situations. It's easy. It's easier to use than the other softwares, but everybody he will work colors, we will work it, no problem. We will decode it, I'm sure.
Okay, lovely, thank you. I hope DL2YMR that answers your question. So going back to Zoom, have we got any other questions for Emil on the Zoom call tonight? Yes, Stephen.
Will the program be recorded on television or something? Will television be involved at all with this program at a later stage?
You mean the TV? You mean huh? It's the bad. The worst. I couldn't hear you very well. Please again.
Will it be televised at all? Will the BBC or ITV be involved with anything, or Sky News?
Yeah, the BBC will. So today or yesterday there was a message from Cam and Nobby that the BBC will be on the Inbackkeep, and he will then some recording of our trip and so on, some stuff, and we will see what happened on that day. Of course, I think and I hope that that we will do our best and we have successful expedition, and after that we will do film, and so of course some a little bit more about the ham radio, about all that. This is interesting and exciting hobby like our. This is my main goal, not about me or about to make it so popular. For me, it's that the people understand what we're doing and why we are doing. When they say and not just political things, but associates every day from morning till night to see and in the TV. That's my hoping. We will see.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to add, Stephen, Emil did mention this earlier. There is a documentary filmmaker who is going to be making a film of the expedition and of Cameron stay on the island after Nobby and Emil have left. So there will be a film available. And I do know Nobby was saying, I think earlier today, that he's hoping to arrange, he's in the process of arranging a sked with G8 BBC, and the expectation is that that will be recorded as well. So there will be various places, but I don't think we're not expecting Stephen to see any live television from Rockall while the guys are there.
No, we're just thinking afterwards and
Yeah,
putting things together. Yeah, sure. Thank you, because I missed part of it because I went away for a bit.
that's okay, no problem. Okay, anyone else with a question to Emil? Feel free. Yes, go on, Ken.
Yeah, well, firstly, Emil, thank you very much for an excellent presentation. I've got an observation and a question. The observation is that I have checked the weather and looked at specifically the jet stream and the wind, and it looks like from the 24th it's going to be in your favour, so it should be good. It's above the UK.
Yeah,
the jet stream is above the UK.
Yeah.
So that's the observation. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And the question is, for us in the UK, I think almost certainly the band will be 40-meter band where we will be able to work you. Are you in, and I may have missed this earlier, but are you working split or are you working on a specific?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking. That was on my presentation. You can see there is on the frequencies that I presented. We will work only split. That's right. We will work only split up. So when I go to some frequency, of course I will calling, and then after every single call, so CQ, mic 0 KE up, so that the people should know that we will be split. It's like every expedition is quickly, is better. It's the best way to work as more than as possible stations. Of course, what I love is to not spread too much the split. The FT 857, it's not the, I mean, professional radio like a big one. So in receiving filter, you cannot put it receiving filter, for example, 3 kilohertz or 2 kilohertz. It's just not too much. Normally, when I have a bigger radio, like on expeditions with a normal bigger radio, I put the receiving filter on upper just on 1-2 kilohertz in CW, and I heard many stations, so from to ta, and just not moving the frequency up and down with 250 hertz and asking, just working and concentrating in one of the signals and pick up and go ahead. It's the best experience that I have. Of course, this is the good, but it's dependent condition. It's depend of how the people will hear us. It's depend of how much people will work us and so on. And we will see and try to manage the pile up from beginning until to the end. What is important, that not the people, okay, they work on us and started to ask every 5 minutes, hey, why you don't go to 20 meters? Hey, we have here big pile up. Why should go now at the 20 meters? No, we will be at 20. I will, for example, on 40 meters. Work until we say, okay, now going the pile up down, go change, for example, he come on 40 meters. When the condition is better, is very good on one band, the best is to stay on this band SSB because it's good and readable. And I go to the band where the condition a little bit worse, for example, and started with ZW, change the bands and so on. Everything we will see. Or if we have both antennas very near, when we say, oh, 40 and 30 meters not working very well together, okay, we will go to 40 and 20 or 40 and 18. And something like this, you know, and that's everything is live, and we will see when we have the time and the opportunity is there to fix after 24 hours, you know, we will know exactly how it's working, and it will be working. The people will know where we are, and the most important thing is that when we start, and some of you work us, just put it please in the cluster. Please put it regularly, because you know the cluster, it's going after 15 minutes, nobody know that we are on this frequency, and the people will ask, will come. But split, yes, definitely we will be work on split and SSB and CW.
Can I just ask you, when you say you're going to work split on SSB, how many KCs are you looking at going up frequency? Are you looking at 5 to 10? I did hear one station only a fortnight ago working 30 KCs split, which I think was just far, far too much.
No, it's I don't know
it's
that
terrible.
I have for first time something like this, but it's not usual. The usual is something like 5 to 10 up or something like this. If there are too much people, when I work also SSB, all modes, no problem. I will also work SSB. When I'm working 10 hours CW, I'm very tired. Then every time I switch to SSB, and after SSB, and when I'm tired in SSB after 20 hours, then I go to Digi because it's easier. You sleep and wake and click and wake and so. That's the usual. We will be usual 5 kilohertz, 5 to 10, something like this. But it's, I don't know, it's 40 kilohertz. it's, for me, make no sense.
I understand. Don't worry about it. No problem. I was just making an observation. That's all.
Yeah. That's good. Good question, of course.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Emil. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that question, Ken. Right, anyone else with a question to Emil? Wave at me or unmute and pose your question if I don't see you waving at me. Don't think we've got any other questions. Am I right? I'm going to take last orders now. Okay, if we haven't, can I, on behalf of both viewers on Zoom and on YouTube, give a really big thank you to Emil for this final presentation. Yeah, thank you. We show our appreciation to Emil. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for this great idea. And when I talk for the last days, I was thinking many about this, and it's a little bit risky what we've done. Because I'm sure this, and that Nick, you say also, this is the first the expedition that talk about things that we will not know at the moment about expedition, about all that stuff, true open for questions for everything what we have about costs, about everything. And that's the most important thing for me also, that we are open to the world, and we don't know, and we will see what happened. But Nick, to you, absolutely, like we say in German, Hut ab. Thank you very much for all that organization, for the idea and technical stuff and so on, and we will keep in touch. So what's important, we have in WhatsApp a group. When we have a little bit internet from there, pictures or something like this, we will send it to this small group into WhatsApp. If we have not other opportunities, and the guys, Nick, you and Cole and the other, will be so pleasure to put the information, not only clusters, so social medias and so on, that the people know where we are at the moment, what we are doing, and so on. It's important for us, but everything is dependent of the conditions there. If Iridium working, not, and how much does it cost, or there is many questions. But if we have the chance, we will do, and we will take this chance to make us also from there present for the world.
Okay, thank you, Emil. Yeah, and I will 100% publicize the information that I receive from Emil and Nobby whilst they're proceeding with the DXpedition, to keep people updated. We have a newsletter page on the DDARS website for Denby Dale Club members. I'll post to there, but otherwise it will be posted widely on the information pages on Facebook for DXpeditions, for Islands on the Air, and all the other social media channels. We'll just get that information out. I will also publish the information, but people can find it for themselves. You can follow the tracking of the sailing boat taping. That's Tango Alpha Echo Papa India November Golf is the name. Taping is the name of the sailing boat, and you can follow the tracking on the website called myshiptracking.com/vessels/taping. You'll find it there. If you don't find it, I'll put the complete URL to make it easier. So when the boat has left from Inverkip, those that want to can track the boat's progress across the Rockall before they arrive at the island.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good information. Nick just posted, send the information, and also to everybody. Just be free to share all informations. Everybody of us have different groups, they have interest and so on and so on. Just put it, and that will be great for all of us. So we put one information, and from there will be nice to share.
Okay, brilliant. Emil, thank you very much indeed for sparing the time again, and try and not get too overexcited in the next week. You're going to need to have a lot of energy to complete this DXpedition successfully. And I think on behalf of everyone that's been participating tonight on YouTube, I've just had a message from Thomas Fritcher, DJ1TF. Thanks a lot for the presentation and good luck. Phil Gluck, please come back safe. 73s from Thomas. I think Thomas is reflecting what we all feel here today. You know, we are all rooting for you. This is an amazing expedition and an amazing activation on a different level from, you know, virtually anything else we've ever seen. So, you know, we're all with you, Emil, and we'll be following it very closely. So thank you, everybody. And on that note, I'm just going to just turn off the recording. Just before we say goodnight as well to the viewers on YouTube, just a reminder again that tomorrow evening we have another presentation from someone who's made a bit of an input, as Emil said earlier, Rick, DJ0IP, with antennas. We're going to have the benefit of Rick's knowledge and information found in many decades of amateur radio tomorrow night in the first part of his presentation, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Off-Center Fed Dipole. Everyone, whether you're a member of the club or not, are very welcome to attend tomorrow night on exactly the same Zoom channel that we're on this evening. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to the viewers on YouTube, and thank you very much for persisting, and apologies to everyone as well, by the way, for that little glitch we had where it looked as if YouTube and Zoom had gone into a bit of a loop, and I was desperately trying to stop it, but there was nothing I could do in the end other than to reboot YouTube and stop the record. When all else fails, turn it off and turn it on again. I had to stop the presentation live on YouTube and restart it, and there hasn't been a problem since. But these things happen, and a big thank you to Ian for stepping in to chair it when my my ability to intervene had disappeared. So on that, we'll keep the channel open, as we do, by the way, for visitors to the club tonight. Those that are still in the room, even if I disappear and go make myself a drink and probably have a yogurt or a bit of fruit or something, this room will be kept open, and people can stay here as long as they like, chatting to each other about anything they want to. So people are welcome to make use of the room to chat between yourselves. So Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Keith, go on. You were waving at me.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, a brilliant talk, Emil. Thank you very much indeed. Has Nick booked you for your return visit to us at all?
Not yet. Not yet. Keith, before he answers, not yet. I want to give him a chance to do this first and recover, and we'll definitely get Emil back if he agrees.
Excellent stuff.
Okay.
You've got to recover first, Emil. We did get we had Adrian come back, who Kilo Oscar 8 Sierra Charlie Alpha, who took part in the Bouvet expedition.
Yeah, I know him.
We had him come back a couple of weeks ago, and Adrian gave us a report back from Bouvet, which was, really fascinating. And we will look to book you up for a return visit.
Yeah, everything. I mean, I will write. I like it. So I wrote my book also about my life, and climbed for years Eiger North Face and my homeless time in Bulgaria and so on. Everything is in my book in Bulgarian and in German. And so something special like this and like others, I must writing. And when everything is going well or not, it's equal. All that thinking, all this experience, and now with all guys, with you, with everything, I will put it on the paper when I will come back. And of course, presentation or something like this. We will do it again, all that stuff. And of course, that we will see what happened. Just now, what I as I told. Now it's just questions, and with the first moment we started, every question we will receive the answer.
I was saying this to Emil earlier this evening before we started, but for those that have never listened, I really suggest to go and make this your first podcast you've listened to, the ICQ podcast, which is run by Martin Butler, M1MRB. He has other participants, some others that have spoken at the club. Frank Howell, we've had 2 or 3 times speaking at Denby Dale. Dan Romacek as well. They all take part in the ICQ podcast. Martin did an interview that was the feature interview on the ICQ podcast last week. So if you've never found it before, just Google ICQ podcast. Or you will find it in the podcast on the device you use to listen to them. And there's an interview with Emil there with Martin. And I just want to say, I don't want to embarrass Emil, but Martin asked Emil a question. What do you do in your life? And Emil recounted the work he does professionally as an engineer. He talked about his climbing and about the work he does several times a week on the climbing wall to prepare himself for climbs. And then he talked about some of the climbs he's done, and he talked about his mountain guiding, and then he talked about amateur radio and about the expeditions he's been on and about this one and the rest of it. And when he'd finished, there was a pause, and Martin then said, how on earth do you find the time to do all these things? How on earth do you find the time? It was very, very telling. I could see, I mean, Martin is an active radio amateur, and, they've been running now the ICQ podcast for several years. It's a major piece of work to do that week after week as they do. And he was completely astonished and impressed with Emil's ability to do all these things.
Every single moment is important. Just take the time. Yeah,
that was Emil's answer. Life is important. Just take the time to live your dreams, really.
When I go to the expedition, there is no day and night. The expedition start from the beginning, that well, from the prepare. And when I go and when I'm there, the expedition is just all that minutes, seconds from the beginning until to the end. And that's that it's no time that I say, oh, now it's 8 o'clock, I must eat, and now it's 2 o'clock in the night, I must do something like